Investigators and rescue divers joining forces at the Prosser Creek Reservoir in Truckee. Livecopter 3 capturing the moment a car was pulled out of the water Sunday night. A volunteer search group called Adventures with Purpose says their divers found that car as well as a body here, the same area where 16-year-old Kylie Rodney was reported missing.
We have found Kylie Rodney's vehicle and have confirmed that there were remains inside.
An official identification of the remains will be made and announced by authorities once their investigations are complete. Please understand and respect this is a highly active investigation by the FBI and multiple local sheriff's departments, and we are limited to the scope of details we can release.
So there's a couple of folks from that group that dives and finds many missing or almost overlooked cases here. So this is the case of the 16-year-old girl, Kylie Rodney. She had been missing for 2 weeks. Police were looking for her. She left a party and no one knew what happened to her. So of course her family was devastated. In fact, investigators were ready to give up or scale back the search because they couldn't figure this whole thing out. But this group here was able to find her car and sadly, her body inside within 48 hours of beginning their search. So again, let's go to how the authorities that were looking couldn't figure it out and were ready to scale back. Let's watch more.
It's been 14 days since Kylie Rodney went missing following a late night party at a campground in Truckee, California.
I just want her to come back and be okay.
Her disappearance triggering a massive search. Authorities scouring the surrounding area for any sign of the 16-year-old or her car and releasing surveillance images of Kylie in the hours before her disappearance. And yet, authorities appear no closer to finding her. This week announcing they're scaling back the search.
We've had over like 9,000 man hours into searching, which is pretty astronomical. Our biggest problem is where do we go and how do we keep sustaining this?
Desperate for answers, Kylie's extended family reached out to a group of volunteer scuba diving sleuths to help.
All of the agents, sheriffs, and detectives that I've spoken with are all completely baffled.
So police, of course, well, not even necessarily of course, I wasn't expecting this. Many of the investigators and police are not happy about this development, maybe because it makes them look a little bad. So they did, I think, trying to find some holes in the story and like, listen, they need to notify us, they need to notify the family. So the cops were saying this as well in response to this quick turnaround for actually finding this particular girl in her car. Let's watch what they had to say.
Who received the first call from Adventures with Purpose and what was that call like?
I don't know that we received a first call. I think we reached out to them after we read it online. And so I'm not sure, I mean, again, with 150 law enforcement officials, it's possible that a call came in and something happened. But from the Unified Command and talking with my partners, none of us were aware of an initial. So we tasked the investigative sergeant with contacting them and reaching out. So I believe, best I know, we did that proactively on our end.
And they contacted the family?
I think there's still some sketchy details on exactly how that contact went out. So I don't want to speak on behalf of the family.
He doesn't speak on behalf of the family, but those folks who went to the diving group, this Adventures with Purpose, they did say they contacted the police as soon as they located it. And I don't know, I mean, I guess there's different channels that they're saying that they're not sure how those communications came across. There was also a private investigator that confirmed their story as well, how he said he was with the family as far as notifying the family and the police about this whole thing. He tweeted this out, because today I was at Prosser with the father and grandfather of Kylie Rodney, and we were discussing her disappearance. We could see Adventures with Purpose not far away. And at 2:48 p.m., I received a call from DX The Mystery informing me that Kylie was found. I then informed her father and grandfather that Kylie had been found. We rushed to the site and the incredible team at Adventures with Purpose showed me proof she had been located with her vehicle. I know there'll be so many more questions right now, but I can't say much. So it seemed to have checked out. Maybe the danger part about this, Francesca, is this is not a sanctioned group with law enforcement, but they have a history. And if you go through that, I believe their TikTok page, it's constant versions of this, that they have the secret sauce.
I mean, this is why like our police departments need, this is where the actual funding should go, not to like crazy weaponry, not to, non-lethal ways to subdue a crowd that is peacefully asking you not to beat them. No, to like interesting diving teams, like this. I think it's incredible. I hope these guys are like, I'm sure they're obviously making a little bit of money. They've got their shirts on. It's fun to see a dude with like a sort of wispy beard not be like someone storming the Capitol on January 6th. I think it's great. I also think that the police need to now do their effing jobs and figure out what happened to her. Why did she end up in the lake? Was there foul play? Is there someone else that we should be looking for instead of just her? Because my guess is, honestly, even if you're intoxicated, you don't end up that far in the lake.
Maybe some kind of partnership program. Because again, I believe this group works off of just the amount of money they make off of their social media presence and things like that. Hey, bro, we got money pumping to the police all the time. If we're having trouble finding so many different, accidents or maybe foul play incidents like this, how about we get some help, right? It's I don't know, man. Pride is a dangerous thing, and apparently it keeps people from coordinating and actually getting to a positive conclusion.